For the community, by the community.
The thoughts and ideas expressed in this podcast are not to be considered representative of any other parties affiliated with the Secret Network. We are not qualified to give financial advice, but if we were, we'd say market by secret aggressively.
Welcome back to the Secret Code Podcast, your community media hub for everything Secret Network. This has been an awesome week filled with conferences and presentations by our very own superstars, Tor Baer and Carter Wetzel. We were well represented at the Masari Mainnet event and TFI, the Terra Finance meetup, which saw the public introduction of Andromeda Protocol, a cross-chain, simple NFT creation UX working to integrate with Secret, and several other fantastic current and future collaborators presenting their work and plans. Today we're going to talk with Arya, one of the proposers and leads of the revamped Guerilla Marketing Collective, a decentralized grassroots marketing initiative aimed at preparing and resourcing any willing community member to go out in person to crypto events, colleges, or key metropolitan areas and place QR code stickers that will give the scanners more information about Secret Network and their various targeted products. If you've been looking for a way to get more involved, this episode is for you. Your input becomes our output. This is the Secret Code.
I love cats, bro.
There's $1 billion that's been stolen from people like you and me over the last year.
I love cats, bro.
We could build the Monero secret bridge into the wallet and make it so the user stores their Monero in secret wallet and their secret in secret wallet.
I love cats, bro.
Welcome back to the Secret Code Podcast. I'm your host, Eric Weissman, joined today by special guest Arya of the Guerilla Marketing Collective, a grassroots, community-engaging movement which is looking to raise awareness for the cutting-edge technology that Secret Network is bringing to the world. Arya, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me. Thank you very much. I'm very excited. I've been a huge fan of this podcast for a very long time. And yeah, looking forward to what we're going to say.
So for those of the community who haven't met you yet or don't know you, how would you describe yourself? Who are you?
Well, I don't know what dimension of myself you'd like me to kind of go into, but I guess I'll give a quick background of myself. My name is Arya. I am from Toronto, Canada. I've lived like all over the world. My academic background is in public health / epidemiology with a focus on network analysis. And I love cats, bro. That's it, dude. I don't know.
I've got 3 cats. I'm not sure. Paul, do you have any cats? Paul does not have any.
Paul, you're missing out.
Holding the podcast back in this fashion, but I will mail him one of mine. That's awesome. There's actually a really huge cat collective inside Secret Network. So community, if you weren't aware of that, it's important if you want to move up the ranks in secret agency and kind of getting involved here in this ecosystem, you have to love cats or you're out. Like that is actually the primary prerequisite.
Absolutely. And if you're allergic, like you can't even come in. Because like we have cats like all over the Telegram groups, you know, like the fur kind of moves around with different memes, you know.
Thank you, Arya. And what are your current roles within the Secret Network ecosystem?
My current roles is well right now with this specific committee, I'm just a committee lead for the Guerilla Marketing Collective. That's my official role. But other than that, I've just been a huge fan of Secret since it was 26 cents. And I knew about Enigma, but I didn't invest. I had some friends that were part of like the whole like initial Enigma investing, and then now, you know, where we all transitioned into Secret quite vehemently, if that's the right word. I don't know.
That's always the right word. It's a silver dollar word. All right, a little bit more about yourself to connect you to the audience. What are a few non-generic traits? I don't count liking cats because everybody loves cats. So what are some non-generic traits about yourself that you think would have people more identify with you personally?
I don't know. I don't really know how to answer that question too well. Maybe, you know, could we get into passions? Is that a non-generic trait?
Sure.
Yeah. I love poker. I'm a very good poker player. I'm very confident in my poker skills. I love like reading different. I don't know. I like meeting new people and like seeing how they work and seeing how they kind of like operate throughout the world. I feel like each individual has their own different worldviews, and you know, I think it's almost like a fun little story whenever you meet someone new.
That's awesome. I know Tor was a semi-pro poker player. I had to play poker to make rent when I was 18, which kind of killed the game for me, but also I'm very capable in poker. That's what got me into the whole gaming industry. So
amazing.
I'm excited for when we get some poker apps up and running, get some good quality tournaments going.
Let's get it. Yeah.
When did you first get into cryptocurrency?
So I heard about crypto way back when I stumbled across the one of the first, the first white paper for Bitcoin, and I was like, oh, it's kind of interesting. And then some years later, I invested in Bitcoin. My first Bitcoin purchase was in 2014, and it was like a small investment. And then my biggest investment, which I haven't invested in crypto since my second big investment, which was in like 2015. And yeah, I've been in there since 2015, like fully in since 2015. It's been crazy ride, lots of ups and downs. But yeah, around that time is when I got into crypto, 2014, 2015 time.
Very cool. Nice. I know a lot of the people in our ecosystem got in around with me with the 2017 craze, which is also the start of Enigma. So since you got in before then, how did you kind of learn about Enigma and Secret Network, and what kind of drew you into that ecosystem?
So I noticed that with each bull cycle, it's almost like it's almost thematic, if you will. Each bull cycle begins with a certain theme. So the very, very, very first bull cycle was, I guess, just use case for crypto, which is Bitcoin, right? Just a normal, simple store value asset. Once that came in, any coin that was mimicking Bitcoin kind of like grew from that, or pumped really hard because people were seeing it's an alternative. The second one was smart contracts with Ethereum, and then the one after that was essentially DeFi, which is this cycle. So I knew about Enigma from a buddy of mine, from Eli, who's another committee lead, and he's the one who was telling me about it. And I was kind of interested, but I wasn't really sold on it yet. But then the second I noticed that this cycle was very DeFi heavy, and I noticed that there was not many privacy DeFi focused projects. The second I learned about Secret Network, which was also from Eli, I kind of threw a lot of weight into it, and that's how I got in, because I noticed that Secret Network is a very good indicator of what this bull market represents, which is DeFi.
And Eli is also known as Nodevine in the ecosystem and runs the node called Nodevine, and is one of the three proposers. So we'll get into this pitch a little bit soon. But yeah, he's been very active and awesome in the ecosystem. Did you actually know him before Enigma?
Yeah. So we both went to University of Toronto together, and we met at a you guys know Model United Nations? You know what that is?
I do not.
No. So essentially, it's like a debate type thing. Like you travel to different universities, different conferences, and you debate. And me and him, we went to Harvard together, and we debated there, and we partied there, and it was kind of we have some crazy stories, bro. I'll leave it at that.
That is wonderful. I know he's into poli sci, so it makes sense getting into the kind of forensics type stuff. I enjoyed debate a little bit, but didn't pursue it in college. I should have. Oh, that's wonderful. You guys are doing a great job. It's nice to see you come on and get your name on this proposal as well. I know this isn't the first time the guerrilla marketing idea has been proposed, and it barely didn't pass last time. Last time it was with Eli, and then also Ranger, who's been super active and helpful. Audience, if you watched my video episode with Carter that we had out pretty recently about Shade and Silk, at the very end of that, he gave a huge shout out to Ranger, who has really helped them with some nice economic models, and just he's been doing a lot of cool work in the ecosystem. So I'm personally very excited about this, but why don't you, in your words, kind of walk me through what the guerrilla marketing campaign is?
So just to I guess boil it down to its most simplest elements, our main goal is to create a more engaged community within Secret Network, because we feel that every successful project finds its foundations within a very engaged community. If the community is not engaged, then the project will have to solely rely on institutional involvement, and institutional involvement is is sometimes very erratic, and it's not as, weirdly to say enough, it's not as stable as a very engaged community. So seeing as how we're all heavily invested in Secret and we're all very passionate about Secret Network, basically the whole point of this is to create a grassroots movement to make a more engaged community, to encourage more people to be part of the community of Secret Network, and to help kind of build a solid foundation for the entire network, the entire project, so that, let's say if, God forbid, some form of institutional involvement were to dry up, the community is still there.
That's awesome. And we've built the kind of infrastructure of the community, of the finances of Secret Network, to support things like this. So we have multiple different funds allocated for startups. We have 17 million Secret, currently priced at over $34 million. That's just for grants for people who are trying to build very technical things that will contribute. We've got our community pool of about 1 million Secret right now, over $2 million. That's supposed to be for like community oriented projects like this, like the podcast, like committees that are up and running and actively getting people involved. And then we also have the foundation, which can hire out contract work and make sure that stuff keeps getting built, because it is hard to get consistent direction and drive from a decentralized community. That being said, it's not impossible. And the higher the barriers of entry are, the more difficult it's going to be to get people to continue to get involved, continue to contribute. And that's definitely a risk of weakness. I'm not going to say it is a weakness for us, but it's a risk of one. And it's something I've seen a lot in other DAOs. A lot of other ones are able to get people more consistently involved just because the price has gone up. And we've had really an impressive community, considering that we have underperformed the market. And I mean, I personally doubt that will continue. But this is a very important mission and ethos, in my opinion.
Absolutely. I agree. I agree fully. You know, like it is almost a weakness of Secret Network that the community is not fully engaged. But the beauty of Secret Network is that, like you said, there are many different avenues built in by the devs, by the people who created the project, to help the community to be more involved. And in some cases, it's actually better for the community to pick up that mantle rather than the project devs themselves, right? Because if we have passionate individuals such as myself, Eli, and Ranger kind of leading or at least not leading, how should I say, what's the English word for helping a fire grow? I don't know. Is it emboldening or something? Kindling. Yeah. If we, since we're so passionate about Secret, if we are able to kindle the community in a way where it's more engaged and more passionate, then we feel that, you know, a lot of good can come out of it.
So could you walk me through the history kind of this concept? I know this isn't its first iteration, but kind of what did it start as for the vision? What hiccups have you guys run into, or I guess opposition? And then how are you guys evolving? Why do you think that this one is going to be more successful?
So basically, let's go way back. Me and Eli were discussing once. We were just on the phone and we were just talking about just Secret and, you know, how the project is, how our investment is doing, and we were doing kind of a form of a quasi risk analysis, if you will, of the Secret Network and the community and blah blah blah. And then we were saying like, yeah, the community is community is passionate, but not directly involved with helping Secret grow, other than making memes and stuff like that. So we were wondering, like, what is a way where something very simple, something very easy to be done by anyone, something very, how should I say, horizontal, where anybody can pick it up and do it, you know, like what is something like that we can implement to help Secret in that way? So we began with thinking about QR codes. So we were thinking, and during this time that we were having this discussion, COVID restrictions were loosening in North America, right? And we were wondering that, is there any way that we could capitalize from these new restrictions? Because as you know, anybody who's been under lockdown, they wanted to get out as soon as possible, as soon as the restrictions were lifted, right? So we were kind of in the thought process of how can we capitalize on extra foot traffic that is most likely going to be seen in high traffic areas within every metropolitan city in North America. So then we thought about the QR codes, and then we thought that that's a neat idea. Not many people are doing it, and businesses are actually implementing it a lot more now for their menus. So people are being more habituated to it. People are being much more used to it. So it's not something odd. But no one has done it yet for marketing a crypto project, at least not in a on the ground, quote unquote, guerrilla way, right? So we came up with the idea of the QR codes, and then we were kind of like, before we even presented to the community or told anyone in the community about it, we were trying to see if it's even feasible. So we got some ducks in order, we got some people, and there's another community member by the name of Dylan. He helped a lot in regards of finding the best sources to get certain things being like stickers and the design and what app is the best to use. How are we going to judge the analytics, the KPI being key performance indicator, and all that stuff. So yeah, we went from essentially just talking about like QR codes to organizing to see if we can even do anything like that. Then we went into discussing with the community, and then we kind of Ranger brought a lot of good ideas on board. And then we began with the initial guerrilla marketing phase. Originally, the committee was called, I think it was like QR Code Committee or something like that, and then we changed it to Guerilla Marketing, because guerrilla marketing is a very, like, you know, it's very, that name stays true to our main focus for this community, which is grassroots movement to make a more engaged community. And yeah, and then we kind of presented that on the forum, and we noticed that there was quite a bit of considerable pushback because back then we had 4 leads. We had some critique regarding the budget, regarding if it's even feasible during COVID, even though we did argue that restrictions were loosening. But, the critiques on both sides, the critiques and the counter critiques were quite reasonable, and they made sense. So then after we noticed there was a lot of pushback, we kind of limited our discussion on it, and then we kind of pulled back, and then we tried to readjust the committee in a way where it can be more, how should I say, more inclusive of the different perspectives, the different correct perspectives that people on both sides were mentioning quite a bit. And then we adjusted the committee to be what it is today, with our new adjusted charter, where we have 3 leads, and our scope is much more refined and much more focused. We have also like a type of bounty system that is much more refined than it was previously, where we're going to encourage many different community members across North America, to begin with in North America, and then across the world, to kind of pick up different mantles and have a more decentralized way of marketing secret network and secret network projects such as Secret Swap. And yeah, that's basically it. It's not the drastic changes with the new one and the old one is more so to do with the more focused scope and ethos that is more focused on the community and more focused on decentralized marketing. And yeah, that's basically it.
Yeah, I'm reading from your guys' ethos charter right here. It says that the Guerilla Marketing Collective rejects unnecessary hierarchy, formality, and norms. You guys don't have the word committee in there, and I feel like that by itself, just that word is a huge barrier for a lot of people who want to get involved, because like, I want to get involved, I care about this, I don't know if I have the time commitment for whatever a committee is, I don't know if I can make the meetings, like if I have a 9-to-5 job, and like I don't know how much I'm ready to commit. Why isn't there some way where I could commit a little bit? And you can, and that's part of what being a secret agent is. But not everybody in this ecosystem or in this world falls into a more organized structure. And so if you're like, just screw it, one weekend I'm out, I'm ready, I'm free today to go do something, this is a great way to do that. Like, you can equip people, like, here's some stickers, go out, spread some awareness, go do something tangible that we can measure and appreciate and get a little bit of paid for it, and spread the good news.
Exactly. Absolutely. And I noticed that I was using the word committee throughout most of this podcast so far, but yeah, I'm kind of used to the word committee, but you're absolutely right. Like I said previously, this is a decentralized way, and you're right. Committee was a word that kind of almost is a type of linguistic gatekeeping, if you will, for new members or people that, like you said, they don't necessarily have the time to put like as much effort as maybe a collective lead is putting in, or something along those lines, right? But yeah, you're absolutely right. This is a decentralized way of creating a grassroots engaged community.
Mm-hmm. I agree. And I fully support committees. I'm really glad we have that structure. The big argument for them when they were coming out was we need ways to organize people with different talents to go and contribute, and they have done a great job of it. But even when they were set out, the idea was that they were never going to be the only thing that comes from our community pool, which is a 2% tax that we self-imposed on ourselves. There is $2 million there right now to be spent for community initiatives, and right now it is only spent on committees. And I'm a committee lead myself. I'm no longer coming from that pool. Like, now I'm the Secret Swap committee coming from CFI, which is different. But in general, committees are important. They do work. They're not all encompassing. And I think I think people would be amiss to believe that were the case. I know just for our podcast, we've gotten a lot of feedback on the forums, which in general, if people go and ask for money from something, like, there should be healthy criticism. We totally respect that. We've made adjustments for ourselves too. But in order to foster community growth, you have to resource and encourage community projects and community members who are capable and willing to kickstart grassroots movements.
I 100% agree. Committees, I think it's based on the main hypothesis of what you're trying to do. If you're trying to, let's say, guide Secret Swap, it's not wise to do it in an extremely decentralized way in the beginning, because like, as you said, there's not enough not everybody has the same amount of time, right? And not everybody has the same passion for the thing, right? So it makes sense for like Secret Swap to have a committee where there are 2 very good leads, such as Mr. Eric right here in this podcast, and Mr. Iowa, who I always forget his real name, but I call him Iowa because it's a very cool name. And yeah, like, it's necessary to have very, very passionate leads for a project such as Secret Swap because it's still in its infancy, right? Whereas for marketing, for especially marketing named as Guerilla Marketing Collective, a committee is not really necessary. Meaning, yes, us leads are going to be building the infrastructure where individuals part of the collective will be able to utilize, but we are not really guiding much other than organizing how everything is going to go and all that stuff. But the individuals are the ones doing the actual tasks, and they will be compensated via the bounty system that we have in place currently. So yeah, absolutely. Just to go back to your point, I think it's based on the hypothesis of what you're trying to do, right?
Yeah, and people try to conglomerate everything that's related into one structure, and I don't feel like that's effective. Like, what if all marketing had to be under one marketing person? Like, marketing is not mutually exclusive. You can have 20 different strategies and 20 different people running them, and it's just going to market to different audiences. Some people might not like some of them, and some of them will speak to them. That's great. A lot of our feedback was, oh, well, aren't you guys like very similar to awareness? Absolutely. We definitely want to spread awareness through our podcast. That's 100% our goal. And like, we thought about it, like, should we try to incorporate under the awareness committee? Like, Brendan's doing a great job. We definitely need to be more involved with them. I'm going to be working on trying to go to more of their meetings and collaborating with them a little bit more. That's on me. But at the same time, if something that's been completely community driven, community oriented, and community focused, if everything that comes up like that just gets incorporated into a committee, what else is there? Like, I'm scared that we don't want the committee structure to become a bureaucracy, and it's not right now, but we have to make aims as we're getting ready for exponential growth to keep it that way. And so overlap is okay. Extra awareness, extra education, extra marketing is good. We need to foster community growth and community involvement. And in my opinion, that's what the community pool's for. So I know you guys have gotten some feedback saying, shouldn't you guys go for a snack, which is a completely fair and possible way for you guys to get funded. A snack audience is a secret network action campaign. That's how this podcast got started, coming from the foundation, which is a super, super cool way to get things kickstarted. That being said, this is fully driven for community effort, community growth, and community funding. Everyone can get involved, and we need a steady structure, not like a one-time event-based thing for a snack. So, like, if the community is not supporting this, what are we supporting?
Exactly. Precisely. And it's almost mandatory to have a decentralized way of bringing the community together to have a project to be truly successful, right? Especially if the project is in decentralized finance. So like you said, overlap is not only welcomed, in my opinion, it should be mandatory, especially in marketing.
Especially in marketing. All right, so why should your everyday secret agent listening at home, who's a community member, who's not super involved, why should they be getting excited about this?
This is a new way of getting involved in a project rather than just investing in it and talking about it on Telegram or Discord or whatever. This is you truly physically putting physical energy into something that you're passionate about, physical energy into something you are excited about, and physical energy into something that you truly see a great potential within. Right. So through our bounty system, we will be having a type of infrastructure in place where we will be distributing quote unquote awareness/marketing material to individuals, such as QR codes and some future stuff that are coming on board. And individuals can take this, post it in places that they feel is a great spot. Like, they're their own boss. You know what I mean? Like, if they post in something that they feel is a great spot, through our KPI site, we can see the analytics of that, and they will be compensated accordingly. Right. So they should be excited because not only are they putting physical energy into something that they may have been invested in, but they're also being compensated for that physical energy. Right. And it's also a fun thing, like who hates getting paid to walk around town with your buddies and to put some stickers into random places, right? Or important places, I shouldn't say random.
Yeah. I mean, you could DoorDash for the day, or you could go do something with an ethos that you believe in for a day. And another thing that really excites me about it is it's going to put you in touch with other people that live near you that are also secret agents. So I already have a team set up in Southern California back from the first iteration of this when I thought it would be passed. And even though it wasn't, like, I still planned on doing it because it's a brilliant idea to me. And I've reached out to some people on Twitter who are in Southern California. We were like, yeah, okay, once this is all up and running, we're going to get going. We're going to try to hit college campuses and events nearby because we're close enough to LA, to San Diego. It's not too hard to do. But once I meet these people in real life, then now I actually have connections. who knows what teams will be built? If there are people in Tennessee or Iowa or whoever that start meeting up and doing this, who knows what's going to come from those collaborations? Right now, we're all isolated, getting involved with this on our computers and our phones. We're actually going to make real connections now. And for those of us who haven't been at the Misari or the Mainnet conferences, we may not have that in this ecosystem. And this is a great way to change that.
Exactly. No man is an island, right? So this fosters very good social interactions, right? Like you said, you'll make new friends, you'll meet new people, you'll get paid in the token that you're invested in, right? So you have your choice to either cash out on that or keep it, and it's going to grow.
We've really got to unlock the community with a viewing key.
Let's get it.
Let's look into the viewing key. The question isn't why do you have to make one on Secret Network? The question is why don't you everywhere else? All right, my friend, since you are pushing a new marketing narrative, you won't be directly associated with the actual GitHub repos for the fungible tokens built on Secret Network. So I'm talking about the SNP contracts. So, what is the current updated SNP contract for fungible tokens on the Secret Network? Is it A, SNP 20, B, SNP 22, C, SNP 23, or D, SNP 721?
A, SNP 20.
That is incorrect.
Oh, wait, can I curse?
Sure, why not? I might whip you up, I might not. So we still call them SNP 20s. Primarily the reason SNP 20 was chosen, same reason the BIP 20 was chosen for Binance, is because the ERC20 is what made this famous. SNP, the acronym stands for Secret Network Improvement Proposal, and I don't think it was directly the 20th, but as we've had improvements on our initial SNP 20 contracts, we had the SNP 21 add history and private memos, so now people could kind of unlock their own stuff for taxes because our Secret Network tokens are private because of the private metadata. And SNP 22 also added batch operations. So right now, the current one that has been used is the SNP 22. But just 2 weeks ago, Asaf finished SNP 23, which also added an improvement to the UX for like sending tokens and whatnot. So we don't actually have any SNP 23 tokens yet, but this is really important as we work on token migration from the SNP 20s to the SNP 22, now SNP 23 contracts. That way it's more easy for things to be tax compliant. I know I personally care about that, being a CFI representative, wanting to get it listed on exchanges, and this will be a huge, huge step up for us. So SNP 23 is the current contract. So we're expecting Shade Silk and a couple other new tokens that will come out to be on that. And SNP 721 that I mentioned is our contract for our non-fungible tokens, which I'm super excited about after seeing Stash and some of the other projects coming out there. I know I'm personally really excited for the 580 Anons. So if you're a true secret agent, you know what, Secret 580, all the Anons are coming to you, our very own CryptoPunks. So I am excited about that.
I'm telling you, Anons are going to change the game. Even though I don't know a lot about it, but Anons are going to change the game.
Well, if you knew about it, there wouldn't be Anons, would they?
Exactly. Precisely.
All right, transitioning back to our other conversation, can you talk about the other awareness efforts of Secret Network, the other awareness and marketing efforts? What do you think has been successful?
I think the awareness efforts conducted by, or at least so far by, anybody doing awareness for Secret Network has been very successful in bringing new institutional partners and new big players within the crypto verse into the Secret Network. But unfortunately, again, I don't think it has been super successful in the community level, right? So I believe that crypto projects are two-faceted, meaning they have to have both institutional prowess and community engagement, right? Because the institutional prowess will give them that capital and that nominal growth, whereas the community engagement will maintain their presence within the zeitgeist of the people, right? So yes, Secret has been extremely successful in bringing new, very important players into the ecosystem. I feel that a lot more work can be done on the community level, particularly for Secret Swap and CFI. And yeah, I think we need to focus a lot more on the community level, focus all marketing on individuals, on the retail investor. And yeah, absolutely. That's it.
Yeah, there's kind of been this ongoing war of we need to market to get more people. But what's the point of marketing when there's no ease of access, when you have to be so technically savvy to even purchase Secret at this point? You can't get it on Coinbase. You can't get it on crypto.com. And as the bridges and stuff have come out, there have been more ways, but they're not very easy yet. And so we're like, oh, well, let's just really wait to drive this home once that's there. But if we aren't driving this home right now and building our community and building that group of people that will be ready for this, then we may never get to that point in general. So it's kind of like a prisoner dilemma. And so right now, the best we can do is find ways that we can support this growth, grow whatever we can right now, and then also make sure with the frameworks in place for that if and when we do have those catalysts of a Coinbase listing or something like that, and people are onboarding like, hey, what secret network? Where can I get involved? What can I do? That there's somewhere they can join, there's somewhere that they can be involved in and grow into this community. So that's what I see from your guys' project. That's what we were trying to do with our podcasters. So like, you want to learn more about it? Here. Like, oh, who's this person? What's that? Here, come learn about it. Come hear this person talk about it. And so for all of those of you who have just seen a sticker on the side of the road and scanned it and wanted to figure out what was going on and heard about the Guerilla Marketing Collective, and that's what reached out to you, thanks for coming and joining this show, hearing it straight from the horse's mouth, Arya, who with Eli had this idea, and know that this has been much time in the taking, and we're very glad to have you guys involved with us.
Absolutely. We're very excited. We're looking forward to building a better and more engaged community. We're looking forward to see Bullish Guy involved more. We're looking forward to see some very interesting players come into the fray.
Are there any other projects or kind of things like this that have been an inspiration? Are you familiar with any other efforts that are similar to this?
I think the most similar thing would be the whole Lunatics thing that Luna successfully did. But other than that, I think the similarities kind of stopped there because not many projects focused a lot on guerrilla marketing, meaning on the ground boots marketing. I feel that we, at least from my knowledge, I'm sure because crypto is such an expansive space, I'm sure that many projects have undergone something similar to this. But from my personal knowledge, no, this collective is a very unique thing to Secret Network and very unique thing to the crypto sphere, if you will.
And so now we've both kind of been talking loosely about this because we're both familiar with the project. It was your idea. I've been heavily involved in supporting this and my own thoughts towards it. Can you just break it down step by step what this is going to actually involve for a new user? What does this program actually look like and do?
Yeah, absolutely. So when you say new user, I mean you mean like, let's say like a person who wants to be part of the collective or wants to help with the underground marketing, right?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. So basically what they can expect is, first and foremost, once this is passed, and I'm going to say once, not if, because we're very confident. Once this is passed, users we're going to have different telegrams for, depending on either Telegram or Discord. We're still debating that. We're most likely going to do both. But there's going to be some social communication avenue where users will be able to hop on and be more involved with, depending on their location and depending on where they are. We would be able to ship the materials to them. And then we will give them a list of places we would like to see stickers. And we're going to give them an extra amount of QR codes to post in their own specific favorite areas. And yeah, like basically once they receive the marketing package, they can kind of follow through with the list. And then once the QR codes are up and running and their initial scan is completed, meaning the analytics routing of the QR code to our KPI site is completed, or at least is initialized, then the compensation will begin and then we'll move forward from there. And then we do have different marketing campaigns that are focused on different facets of marketing, if you will. So I highly recommend everybody who wants to be part of the collective to read the charter very in depth and to kind of understand even more in depth what we're trying to do. But as I was talking about the campaigns, they will be separated into 3 distinct categories. So the first one being like a general type campaign, where essentially it is looking to target crypto conferences that are happening during or within major metropolitan cities across North America. And again, this collective is this is a 3-month trial period within North America. Once we see success, then we're going to span to different parts of the world. I personally have a lot of contacts in Southeast Asia, and I'm very confident that we can do stuff there very, very easily. And then the second distinct category of a campaign, essentially a targeted campaign. And this campaign essentially focuses on specific secret network products, such as NFTs, secret swap, anons, or XYZ, anything, any new use cases that come within the network. We will have certain campaigns dedicated to just push these, right? And then the third categories, essentially secret foundation campaigns. And the secret foundation campaigns essentially is the infrastructure we're trying to set up will be set up in a way where that should the secret foundation want to market anything, they would be able to utilize this collective. So we're going to set up the infrastructure in a way where if the foundation needed underground marketing, let's say a conference were to pop up in Toronto and Secret Foundation was like, listen, we want boots on the ground. We want presence in that region, in that area. They can utilize our infrastructure. And from there, Secret presence can be continuous throughout the world based on coming conferences.
Tor just picks up the phone, calls you, send out the apes, and
That's
we're out.
It. That's it. And a lot of apes with balaclavas are going to go to conferences and put stickers, and you know what I mean?
That's awesome. So yeah, you'll be going out with your friends. You'll be putting up QR codes in places that get plenty of foot traffic and have people scan the QR codes on their phone, and they're going to learn more information about Secret Network. And that's awesome. We'll do it around crypto conferences. I know I personally want to do it around colleges. I live near quite a few of them in Southern California. And that what better way to get new talent of people who have grown up going through school learning about cryptocurrency, especially reaching out to their computer science department, and not only foster new talent and growth, but also new awareness from people who are genuinely going to be interested and capable of understanding this stuff. So I'm very excited for everything you guys are doing here. Is there anything else that you want to talk about real quick?
Just, I guess, to recap, it's just a very underground grassroots movement looking to create a more engaged community. And we are not a committee. We are a collective. Hierarchy is only important to build up the infrastructure. Once infrastructure is built up, it's going to go full decentralized. And a hierarchy may not be necessary at that time. Emphasis on may not be, because we're not too sure what the future is going to hold, as we are not fully fledged psychics yet.
I like that. All right, then to listeners, what is their next steps? I get on the forums. I can link the forum post here, vote for it once it hits governance, and then how can they get directly involved?
Precisely, yes. So the first step, read the charter. Very first step, read the charter. Understand what we are doing. Second step, go onto the forum post, which is kindly linked by Mr. Eric, and put any critiques you want, any dialogue you want, any discourse you want to add. You agree with it, say you agree with it. You disagree, say you disagree. Why? Why disagree? And then vote on it once governance is back up. And then once you vote on it, in the very likely event that it passes, I hope to God it passes, because I've used very, very strong words during this whole podcast. But yeah, in the event that it does pass, keep a very close eye on the main Secret Network chats, such as Secret Swap, Secret Network, and a couple others, as we are going to start presenting, or we're going to start pushing and pinning invites to the new chats in those respective main chats. That's essentially it. Once you are part of the social communication avenues, you will be able to kind of move on forward from there.
What else could be built in this ecosystem that could better tool you guys or help you guys to accomplish more, or even this vision better?
I think the only thing that needs to be accomplished, or not the only thing, but one very major thing, is that marketing done by Secret Network and Secret Foundation needs to be targeting individuals. Our marketing collective should be moving in parallel with online marketing initiatives being conducted by the devs and the dev shops, because it some form of class would be shown to the project if people were to see our QR codes whilst they actually have some understanding, or if they've heard Secret Network. Because if they just merely see the QR codes and they haven't heard of it, at least, or they don't know somebody that hasn't heard of it, then there's a possibility that they might be a little confused about it. But, regardless, all publicity is good publicity. We just got to get on the ground moving. That's it.
Yeah, I'm really excited for what possibilities could happen when it's not just spreading awareness, but you're also sending somebody 10 secret or 5 secret or something, and then they have to download a wallet. And if they want to cash out, they can, but they're going to have to go through every step to cash out, and they're going to have to learn every bit about it. And then they're not going to want to. And you just onboarded in a holder who's directly interested in Secret Network themselves.
Precisely.
A lot of stuff like that can happen. We'll see how Kepler Wallet is once it hits the App Store. I know I'm personally excited for the Secret Wallet, but some cool stuff can really come from this. Thank you so much for coming on the show. How can people reach out to you directly if they want more information from the source on this kind of thing?
The main place people can find me is on Telegram. My handle is Arya, Arya, and I believe the @ Telegram on whatever it is called, it's @AHRJA. Weyyah. I kind of wrote that in a way so people can pronounce my name properly instead of calling me Oreo like they have been for the past 16 years. I am not 16 years old, but that name has haunted me for 16 years.
Thank you for the clarification. And the picture on the Telegram might be a little bit different than the picture on the YouTube backdrop.
That was me. I got a new haircut, so I can't really I can't say much, you change your hair, you shave your beard, you look like a different person altogether. So
you have been a wonderfully contributing troll, but it is also nice to see you get directly involved and take matters into your own hands.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Thank you for deciphering the secret code. For the community, by the community. New episodes every Sunday. Secret Sunday. Thank you guys for listening, and if you're fans of cats and what you heard on this episode, please do show some support on the forums and vote for it. Also, our podcast currently has a spend proposal in governance now, so if you like what we're doing, please make sure you vote yes on Prop 51. And also, for a more personal secret I'd like to share with you guys.
I love cats, bro.